I just did a video where we put together our e-bike rack, and what we're going to be using that for is when we travel, we're going to put the Hollywood e-bike rack, the HR 1700, on the back of our travel trailer. My neighbors had their e-bikes on the back of their RV, and what happened is they actually ended up having to buy new e-bikes because their bracket fell, or the whole bumper broke and fell, and they drug it down the road on the pavement. So what I did is everything I read said, you know, these RV rear bumpers are very light metal, and so you can weld them and reinforce the bumpers with weld. But from what I understand is then it breaks along the side of the weld where the metal is still pretty thin. So I did a couple of different things. Now, the people we purchased the RV from, they did a really good job at putting the hitch underneath. They welded both sides of the hitch, the top of the hitch of the bumper. I'll show you this in just a minute. And then they did additional welding on the bumper to the frame, and this has got an I-frame on it, and I'll show you that. So they did a really good job of re-welding everything to make it strong. So I just said, I just want to be safe that it's not going to crack along those welds. So I bought these brackets off of Amazon. I'll show you those in a minute. Put those and you drill them into the frame, and then I put a U-bolt over top of the receiver hitch and attach that. The U-bolts I got at Ace Hardware. They weren't quite long enough to get all the way down underneath, so I bought coupling bolts and bolted together. So let me show you how I put this all together. Okay, so there's the Hollywood bike rack, and if you look right down here, we have a receiver hitch already on the bumper, the RV bumper. And like I said, they did a really good job of welding, see if I can show you that, welding both sides, and on the top you can't see it because I have one of those brackets that keep it from bouncing up and down, so that sucker is in there. Really, I'm pulling on it and I can't move it. So they did a really good job of welding the top. They welded it on the back, and then I went ahead and put this U-bolt on. Came down, like I said, Ace Hardware. Didn't have a long enough. The U-bolt only came down about halfway down here, so it was enough to put a coupling nut on there, and then I just put another one up there for tightening. And then down here I have a bolt, and that bolt goes up into the other side of the coupling nut. So again, my goal down the line is to get U-bolts that are long enough that actually drop down a little ways, and then I can put a nut on them and really tighten them up good, and not have to worry. But again, this is just, I'm sure it's overkill. And then here's one of those brackets. Now, when you get the brackets, you can see they're safety studs, safety struts, and I had to break this part off. I'll show you that on some paper in just a minute, but I broke that part off and then mounted it underneath and up to the frame. Like I said, they actually, might be able to see the other side, and I did it. Now I mounted them on the inside of the I-beam, but if you look, they actually did a pretty good job of, well, you probably can't see that, but they did a pretty good job of welding the bumper. They re-welded the top. So they did a really good job of welding this bumper on. I carried a generator on here with some extra gear, and it never moved. But just to be on the safe side, I put the safety struts underneath to add additional support, just in case the bumper starts breaking on those welds. And so, thinking with all the extra stuff, with the Hollywood rack, it's probably about 50-60 pounds, and then our e-bikes on top of that, so we're talking close to 300 pounds on the back of this bumper. And like they say, that's the towing weight. but it's the bounce weight that you got to worry about. So we'll see how that works. Hopefully everything stays attached. Maybe overkill, I don't know, we'll see. So this is the struts that I ordered. Comes a couple different kits. I ordered the SNU HD and it comes with the coupler bolts and everything. I ended up only using the nuts and the bolts, 3 on each side. And like I said, I had to do what they show here, where you remove this piece, that spacer bar, and put it on that side so that on my I-beam it would fit. And my I-beam drops way down to here, so the strut fit underneath my I-beam. And so it worked really well, and I love that it comes with the drill bits, and they're sharp, worked really well. I probably could have got away with this kit, but it has the self tappers, so you can, doesn't come with the drill bit. I'm not sure those things would have drilled through my frame. My frame is pretty thick, I-beam frame. I have to say my RV is built really well. So anyway, that's what we did to strengthen up our RV bumper. Hopefully that'll work, and we can drive down the road and travel. We're gonna be traveling for a long time, and we won't lose our bikes off the back. Anyway, that's it for now. Talk to you later.